And we are live. Welcome back to another episode of the Baseline Bums podcast. It's your host, Rob, aka B-Ball Archives. And once again, I got the bum AJ up in the casa after a absolutely massive Spurs victory, 40-point rout of the
Woo!
76ers. So much glazing we got to get to tonight.
Everybody gets
Literally.
glazed today.
Absolutely. Well, when you have 8 Spurs in double figures and you have the shooting percentages that we have tonight, there's
Yep.
some absolute necessity when it comes to glazing. But I just want to hear your thoughts. What were you excited about first and foremost when you were looking at the game tonight?
Well, I was kind of curious to see how the Spurs were going to respond. Obviously, first and foremost, I think we all were. But then also, like now that I was like thinking about it, I was like, man, Joel Embiid's injured right now. He's not playing. This team's kind of like they're not big, they're quick, but our guards are a lot bigger than theirs. We'll see how this goes. And just from the jump, it was like we just had all the momentum in the world. And I mean, you watch these games, and Wimby didn't have like an amazing like scoring night. He only had like what 10 points or so, but he had 6 blocks, and he was the most dominant player on the court, and he wasn't even scoring the basket. Like that's what people forget, that he's able to just always be around, and that's what I absolutely loved about him and his performance tonight. And then you just spread the love all the way around. And then, dude, that castle dunk, like, what did he do to his mama? Good God. That was aggressive, man. Like, you need a hug.
Absolutely. There was a lot of just really slick execution tonight. A lot of things that I really found to be valuable moving forward, even though you brought up, they don't have Embiid. Paul George is still on that suspension. And even VJ Edgecombe, he left, didn't come back. So that was
Yeah.
also a blow to them and their athleticism and their ability to kind of mess with us offensively.
Right.
So yeah, this was just a recipe for us to beat the 76ers by 40 points. And I
God.
think that the first place that I want to start in, it was really where we started off as an offensive unit, and that was playing through Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
Um, I think he was the first person to kind of get his footing this game, and everything that he was doing in the first half was just butter, just knifing through the
Yep.
defense, just finishing around the rim, just little soft mid ranges, and even moments where you thought he was losing the ball, where he kind of had that beautiful high dribble and then
Yeah.
just a little soft touch right in the rim. Just so much great play from Dylan Harper on a night where you see him go 8 for 11. Most of that was in the first half, but just super, super efficient. And I think we're starting to see when we put things together offensively and defensively, we can beat a decent team by 40 points.
Yeah. I mean, this was over by the second quarter. Like it was just gross. But what made me happy too is also Dylan Harper made 2 3-pointers. If that's Dylan Harper's 3-point shot at the top of the key, just straight away, then let's get him that shot as many times as we can, because he felt very confident shooting that shot. And then everyone else kind of followed suit, but he really set the tone when he came in. That's for sure. I think once he came in, that's when our lead expanded, and we just never looked back. I mean, dude, 11 points in that third quarter for the 76ers. Like, that's just embarrassing. Like, I feel bad for the fans, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, their offense looked so stagnant for just huge chunks of the game. I mean, Grimes went 1 for 5, Drummond 1 for 7, Edgecombe 2 for 9, and just yeah, like you could just point to multiple guys on their bench that just didn't show up either. And when you look at our shooting, and we shoot, 56, 41, eighty
Yeah.
three splits, it's just
Yeah. You're
yeah,
not going to.
it's just night and day, and it's just a recipe for them to just play frustrated all night long.
But what do we do this game that we didn't do last game? Points in the
I,
paint.
It absolutely points in the paint, but we were also nailing good open threes. Like,
Yes, that too. But We absolutely were in the paint and we were dominating because they don't have any shot blockers. Like Joel Embiid is like the guy and he wasn't on the court and they have no one down low. So everyone was munching down there. I mean, Castle was in the lane, Fox was in the lane, Harper was in the lane, Wimby was, he could have probably gotten to the lane more. It's crazy how just how night and day that Knicks game to this is. But the things that we were like saying, hey, that we got to fix it, they went and did it, and then they blew out a team, you know, that's a pretty good team. They're what, middle of the pack in the East right now. So great response. You held another team to under 100 points. So yeah, let's good cap to the road trip. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is definitely a team that when fully healthy, I view them as like a mid-tier in the East kind of situation. So, absolutely, definitely a win you want to get. And I'm glad that you brought up the rodeo road trip. This finishes up the rodeo road trip 8-1. It's the
Not bad.
first time that we've had a winning record on the rodeo road trip since the 16-17 season. So,
Yeah, that makes
it
sense.
it just feels good to leave that gauntlet more solidified as a unit, because we've said it on multiple previous episodes that used to be like a binding factor
Right.
for our team, where it was like, hey, we just kind of lost a couple of tough games, we need to go through the rodeo road trip to figure out where we're going to be.
Right.
And
Right.
it always led to us still winning 50 plus games, and it always was like a comfortable situation more often than not. but
Yeah. Yeah.
but now it's like, hey, we're really thankful that we left this rodeo road trip going 8-1.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's a great boost for your confidence. I have a conspiracy a little bit about what happened with the Knicks game. They might have gone out the night before, maybe a little too late the night before, or maybe the day before that or something. It just seemed like they were just sluggish, and it looked like they got to sweat that alcohol out, and they came out on top today. I mean, it was, or maybe, dude, the Philly cheesesteaks are just so good that they're just able to push them through. But man, what a game! Like, also, we got to talk a little bit about the NBC broadcast of the member berries that we got fed every time out, dude. Everything was like, you remember this? You remember this? Remember this clip? Look what we did. You see, look at that. Look at that. See the score?
Yeah.
Ooh, like it's just like, oh my God, like this is what it would have looked like on high def TVs in the 90s. But we all had those bubble screens and we couldn't tell the difference between good and bad. So it was cool, nice little thought nostalgia, but man, I get it. It's okay. We don't have to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, but ultimately there was a lot of places that we can kind of take the conversation from here in terms of who contributed what.
Yeah,
um I think we got to glaze Devin Vassell properly.
of course, every time.
It just feels like on nights where he shoots like this, he just gives our offense so much space to do what we need to do. And
Hmm.
if he's 6 for 8 from beyond the arc, and consistently being a nuisance on defense as well, playing
Yeah, that was
passing
great to see.
lanes. Yeah, yeah, playing passing lanes. They had a really good chase down block where I was like, wow, this is a guy that is, coming and finding his own as a shooter, catch and shoot in rhythm shooting, and being a positive on defense. Like, I was questioning if Devin Vassell was going to be able to last long term next to Wemby over the last year or so. And I think that he's answering a lot of those questions here
Oh,
and now.
100%. 100%, man. Like, and whenever he was shooting, especially in that third quarter, I mean, he looked confident in his shot. And granted, a handful of them were definitely off balance, but they went in. They were off balance, like to us, but I'm sure to him they felt pure. So I was very happy with the way he played. And then I think he had the highest plus minus at plus 43, which is insane to see because that just means you're playing great on both sides. I mean, I know Sean Elliott hates the plus minuses, but those numbers are staggering today. Of course they are, because
Yeah.
the Sixers couldn't score a bucket, and we made them turn over the ball a bunch of times. And Wimby had 6 blocks, like we said earlier, and and what's crazy is that you would think the guy that's 7.5 feet tall and you're a guard like Maxi or Payne, I don't know, don't challenge him because he's going to send that shit to the stands. Like, I don't understand the logic behind you going up normally. Like that maxi block, I'm it's almost disrespectful to Wimby because he went up like all like, oh, here we go, and tried to go up with the left hand, and Wimby was like, you know, I'm like way bigger than everybody, right? And just sent that shit to the sideline. So I think it's good that the Sixers only see us twice because I don't think they could handle us at on a Eastern Conference level.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, there was multiple head scratching moments. Not only Maxi, but Grimes did it a couple of times too, where I was like, dude, Wemby's playing drop coverage on Andre Drummond and he's kind of chilling in the lane right now. Perfect help side. And you're kind of in that dangerous territory. And obviously, the end result was tonight 6 blocks,
Yeah,
9 stocks overall for Wemby. So just a really massive possession ender when you just look at his performance tonight and only took 5 shots, and
yeah,
that's a little bit concerning for me. I mean, it's not alarming because of the game that we were having.
right,
It got out of hand so quickly, so I'm not
right.
gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, Wemby, is
We
something
got to feed
wrong?"
Wimby. We got to feed him. We got to get him the ball. Yeah, yeah,
Right, right. Because I mean, he went 3 for 5 and he hit his only three-point shot, so obviously efficient even in his small dosage, but
yeah.
I just still feel like Wemby is in need of a really, really strong game. I wanna see a 40-20 game. I wanna see a triple double with 10 blocks. I wanna
Yeah.
see one of those kind of performances that just really just has everyone on edge for the rest of the season.
I think he might get that, maybe not with the Pistons, but maybe sometime here in the next month. I think if he really wants to go for an MVP, if he really wants to do it, then he needs a couple of those statement games before the end of the season. And I mean, tonight, even though he only had 10 points, like 6 blocks is like he controlled the game. It's just crazy. He controlled the game without even scoring the basket. So when you have the shooters around him, there's really not a whole lot you can do. But we're a very streaky team though. Like that's my only concern. Like when we're hitting, we're hitting. But when we're not hitting, there's not really a whole lot of other things we can do, especially if Wimby's only scoring 10 points. So that's my only concern about this is that it got very streaky, but I want to see more consistency from our team.
Absolutely. I think consistency is the key word right here. It's like we've seen different combinations of our production, whether it's a night where we're nailing threes, we're missing the points in the paint, where we're dominating points in the paint, but we're not making our threes.
Right.
Or it's a night like tonight where we're dominating points in the paint and hitting our threes.
And playing great defense.
Right. Or it's a night like against the Knicks where we're missing threes, we're losing the points in the paint, and we're getting dominated all over the court. And so
Right.
we've seen different combinations of these games. And I feel like I'm really, really solid in our ability to bounce back and to play different styles and to win in different ways. And that's why I'm just so confident in this team. And even against a really physical team like Detroit on Thursday at home, I think that we are going to be able to combat that physicality and and really find us some open shots like we did against Detroit previously.
They're gonna be happy to sleep in their own bed tonight or tomorrow whenever they get back. That's for sure. So
Oh yeah.
I'm expecting them to be very refreshed and happy to be home. And I think they're gonna come out against the Pistons to be strong. But I also want to. I'm gonna nitpick because we beat them by 40 points. Like, got to talk about something, right? So one of the biggest things that really is really starting to bother me because we do this maybe once, twice a game, something to that effect. When we get a turnover and we're heading back on a fast break or we grab a rebound, we want to move quickly, we turn the ball over way too much. And it's so frustrating to see, all right, here we go. Everyone starts to run, you hit the outlet and that outlet gets intercepted. And now everyone has to turn around and come back. You hopefully they don't, get to the paint and you have at least a couple people to stop them, but man, it's so annoying that it happens so often. And we talked about it last game. Like, just take a beat. look to see where the other jerseys are, because that is it's such an easy outlet pass. And that's the only thing that I'm gonna nitpick about. I saw it tonight, and I would like for them to not do it anymore. Just it's a very careless and really annoying turnover, in my opinion.
Absolutely. It's one of the worst turnovers because most of those turnovers happen in your own side of the court. So it's like you're the opportunity for your opponent to get like an easy fast break layup is like at an all-time high. So I feel like it's really a very very detrimental turnover, but also just one of those ones that I feel like whenever you learn to play at your own pace, which I think, a lot of times on offense, Dylan Harper and Steph Castle, they do that. But I still feel like in transition, their mind is quick, 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 get
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ball up
yeah.
the court. And I think maybe in a couple years, they're going to realize, hey, I'm going to, very similar to what Tony Parker did a lot of times. I'm going to take the ball, take one, two, three dribbles, and then the outlet pass is going to open itself up to me,
Right.
and then maybe we're not going to get that fast break transition shot like within the first 5 seconds, but man, we're going to be able to find that open shot because of how well we're moving the ball and we're passing at the right time,
Yep.
protecting the ball and just straight up not turning it over, which is so
Yeah.
important.
And also that's on tape now. So in the playoffs, those small things get exploited more than anything else. So now if you're playing the Spurs in the playoffs, you're going to go, all right, if we turn over the ball, if we they get a rebound and they want to go, play the passing lane because they're careless with their passes. And that could change a game dramatically. So just something we need to clean up, absolutely. Other than that, I mean, I'm happy with the way Keldon was still bully ball and what he was able to do. That Wimby steal where he just go gadget arms and just snatched it, just
Oh
like
yeah.
I mean, how do you even play against that? If you're anybody in the league, you're going, all right, here you go, and throw it to my big man, and it's like, oh, just snatches out of the sky. Okay, well, that's cool.
I feel like it would be so demoralizing just feeling like you're making what would be a routine pass and then it gets intercepted. But yeah, that's just the huge impact of Wemby tonight. And even though he wasn't scoring, he was doing a lot of good stuff. And want to highlight this comment. Yes, I feel like Wemby was dribbling way less tonight. And that's so much of what we need. It's like I'm okay with him dribbling in a half court situation, but I don't really want to see him dribbling 60, 70 feet away from the
Yeah.
basket where the opportunity for him to get the ball stolen is just so, so high. If he wants
Hmm.
to face up Andre Drummond from 25 feet
Sure.
out and take him off dribble, I'm completely okay with that. But I just don't necessarily want to see him bringing the ball up when we have so many young dynamic guards that can just do it
Yeah.
better than he can. And not saying he can't do it, but that can do it better than he can.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's just I'm very happy. I'm happy. There's really not much more to say. Honestly, like this is just a very good, you know, you end the road trip on a 40-point blowout against the 76ers. I think that's just an absolute great way to cap off the whole thing. You dominated February. Everyone's got an award for the month of February. Was it Coach of the Year, Mitch Johnson, Rookie of the Month, or Coach of the Year, Coach of the Month, Rookie of the Month, Dylan Harper, was it Player of the Month, Wimby, and
And
then who and
defensive
defensive.
player. Yeah, and
Yeah,
defensive player of the month. Yeah.
yeah. So like we just
Absolutely
absolutely
crazy.
swept the whole thing. So I mean that's kind of what we now expect. So now the ceiling's here. Like now the expectations are very high. So I know a lot of people are still saying like I don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs. You know they don't have any skins on the wall with just with totally different game. These are the expectations. You can't go out in the playoffs and just be willy nilly. I expect this team to do some damage and make it deep now because these are the expectations.
Absolutely. Yeah, the expectations have completely changed since the beginning of the season when we were talking about we just want to see the team playing playoff basketball. It's like those are no longer the expectations. Now I'm fully expecting us to move past these lower ranked teams in the West move past the first round and then just really start focusing on who that second round opponent's
Yeah,
going to be. And so, um, and maybe that's just counting the chickens before they hatch, but I just feel like that's where we're at talent wise. Even if we do have no playoff experience, I just feel like the talent, the depth,
yeah.
the ability to win in different ways, it's just aligning. And when you have a defense as dynamic as ours, you can just beat anybody.
100%. I mean, looking at the next week or so, we have a tough, tough schedule. I mean, it's
Yes.
brutal. Next game is against Detroit, like we were saying. After that, it's the Clippers. It's a back to back. Then we have the Rockets, then the Celtics, then the Nuggets, then the Hornets, then the Clippers, and we finally get a break on March 17th against the Kings. Like,
Yes.
that is a gauntlet. So we're going to learn a lot about this team in the next week. We're going to see kind of where their baseline is really. You know, if we they're obviously we're going to be playing at home, so that's going to be a great thing to see. But we can't really drop any of these games. You know, I would love to for us to really play that Denver game super hard, and I would love for us to beat Boston too. Mostly just to rub it in round ball's face. Like that's kind of the main reason I want to do it, but obviously for standings as well, but mostly to rub it in his face.
Well, I'm gonna see if we can get him for the post game episode on that because anytime that we can have a nice Spurs Celtics conversation with round ball, that's always a good time. But I'm in full agreement with you, AJ. The next series of games is an absolute gauntlet. The next 6 games, the combined opponent winning percentage is over 60%. So
Yeah.
these are teams that know how to win basketball games. Tough physical opponent against the Pistons. We already talked about it. Back to back against the Clippers. That's going to be rough. It's always a game that we need to get up against the Rockets. Celtics, needless to say, have been playing good basketball. Nuggets are starting to find their form. And Hornets got the best of us last time out. And
Yeah, they
I
did.
I desperately want a rematch game against them. So
And
just yeah, a lot of really tough opponents coming up.
I also really want Dylan Harper to have an amazing game against the Hornets. I want him to have like 40 points and Con Knipple have like 6. Like I hate this hindsight 2020 nonsense. Like I know, obviously if we knew Con Knipple was going to shoot this way, things might have been different. I don't care. I love Dylan Harper. I'm in love with Dylan Harper. I am not afraid to say that as a grown man. I absolutely that kid is great. So I think he's exactly what we were looking for in the future. I want him to succeed, especially against a guy that is in that sentence now of what we're considering like just we need shooting to get that guy. So I want everyone just to shut the hell up, and Dylan Harper can do that when we play the Hornets.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a nice rookie on rookie battle, and all of course, Khan has the more agency within his offense because he plays for the Hornets, and we have more weapons over here in San Antonio, so we kind
Yeah,
of have to go with the hot hand more often than not. But uh, I do agree, it'll be a nice showcase, and hopefully, we can get a good revenge game against them. Want to highlight this comment from JTV. You're calling 6-1, but won't be surprised with 5-2 over this stretch of games. Honestly, I would be cool with either one. Obviously,
yeah.
six and one sounds better, but even 5-2,
It
I
depends
feel
on
like
what that who how that one is. if
right. I
if that
mean,
one's like the Knicks, then I'm not gonna be thrilled about it. But if it's like a close game to the Nuggets, then I'd be like, all right, cool, I'm down with that. One game that the games that I'm really interested to see is the Clippers games because they don't have anyone that can defend Wimby. So it's going to be us trying to slow down Kawhi Leonard and then them trying to just figure out how to stop Wimby. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm excited to see that dynamic and how both teams play that.
yeah. Yeah, I think that will be very interesting. I think the Clippers are just kind of finding their identity as a whole. I mean, anytime you get rid of James Harden and a guy that was
Zubac.
so yeah, of course, but I just feel like Harden is such a big on ball creator that it shifts the landscape of your offense. But yes, who was he in those pick and roll situations with? Zubats. So it's
Yeah.
like there's a really big identity change there, even
I
though
ex-
Kawhi is playing amazing basketball right
yeah,
now.
he's playing amazing basketball, but I expect Wimby to dominate. Not I want him to score more points, and then maybe that's the game that we circle and we go, oh hey, there was a 40-point Wimby game because I'm looking at the roster right now, and I guess John Collins is going to be on him. Like, okay, I mean, I didn't know Benedict Martin was only 6'5", so
Yeah.
that's not going to be a really good matchup. So I'm really curious to see how that whole thing goes, or maybe they try to put Kawhi on Wimby. That'd be fun to watch. So I guess we'll see what happens, and I guess get your popcorn. I think because it's gonna be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Kawhi guarded him in stretches because that is one of the recipes that people do try to do is they'll put a stronger long wing on Wemby to kind of frustrate him, force him to dribble, and then just collapse as soon as he starts dribbling. Um, uh, we haven't talked about it yet, but this is a perfect time to dive in now that I'm reading this comment. Have y'all covered Luke Cornett
Yeah.
hating strip clubs? We have not talked about this yet on the podcast, but we're gonna dive into it right now. So, um, I mean, I gotta say, I don't.
Let's set it. Like Luke Cornett came out in his blog and said he's not cool with the Magic City Monday night that the Hawks are running because Magic City is a very famous gentleman's establishment in Atlanta, who also happened to serve really, really good wings. So the Atlanta Hawks are kind of doing a little play with that. The Magic are in town playing the Hawks. They're doing Magic City Monday. They're going to be selling all the wings and whatever they want, but we kind of get the wink and the nod. But you know, personally, I don't care if I'm one of the ladies that they're actually going to be working that night. I would come out in a Luke Cornett jersey, personally, and that would be my get up for the evening because I think that would be awesome. Like a Spurs Cornet jersey, I'm coming out, and then that's gonna go viral, and everyone's gonna go join your OnlyFans. It's gonna be great. Personally, I think what people want to do is people want to do. It is what it is. Luke Cornet can have an opinion about it. I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, I'm just gonna say I enjoy those establishments every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think I'm in the same boat as you. I just didn't really view it as that big a deal. I mean, would I prefer a more like family friendly promotion? Sure, but I don't think that this is like ill-hearted or like in like bad taste. So like I'm completely okay with that promotion, but I'm also like you said, I'm okay with Cornette having this take, and I know so much of it is rooted in his religious beliefs and things like that because if you've read some of the other articles he's
Yeah,
written a lot of them are rooted in religious beliefs and he is a devout Catholic, so there's a lot of stuff rooted in there. So I think that some of the pushback that he's receiving is because people think that it's rooted in like conservatism rather than it being like, hey, it feels like you're standing up for women at this time. And it so like it just really brought out a really strange conversation.
yeah, it was not something I thought was going to be talking about. Just in
No.
general, it's like we're talking about Magic City in Atlanta, and for some reason we're a Spurs podcast because Luke Cornett says something about it. What a wild time we live in, but and also not all organizations operate like the Spurs. Like the Spurs are very familiar, right? Like fan experience, like familiar fan experience. Atlanta's a much bigger city than San Antonio and other places for that matter. So their clientele, they don't have to cater to families. Obviously, you want to, but you don't have to because your city's so big and there's so many other things to do. Like come April, May, or I guess end of March, April, when all these different seasons, like they have the Braves going on. Obviously, you also have the Falcons in the fall. So you got to kind of get your name out there, even though you made a big trade with Trey Young. You got to sell tickets. You still got to sell tickets. So how do you do that? You run a promotion about the probably the most famous strip club in all of the U.S. It was on
Whoa,
every
whoa,
single
whoa!
rap song.
Sapphires would like to have a
Okay,
word with
Sapphires is
you.
fantastic too, but it's no, none of them hold a candle to the Rose in Austin. We all know this.
I got married right down the street. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll be right back. And then my wife was like, where are you going? I'm like, tie my shoe.
Absolutely. But yeah, it just such a crazy conversation around Magic City and Luke Cornett. Like it's just I just wouldn't have ever thought that this would have been even a part of Spurs
Yeah,
conversation this season. I just don't think it's a really all that big a deal, but the way that people are discussing it, I feel like it made it a big deal,
yeah,
almost because of influencers. And this was actually going to be my dunk, but Mariah Rose, when she was bringing up all the different kind of talking points around this topic, and was like his comments were really performative and didn't seem genuine at all. And I'm like, well, just because you didn't agree with them didn't make
yeah,
them not genuine. It's just
yeah,
he was genuine with his religious beliefs and how he felt about it. And because it didn't make sense to you, didn't make it not
right.
genuine. So like I was kind of uncomfortable with where some of this conversation went,
It
but
got weird, and also like
yeah.
chivalry's not dead. Like it makes me happy that we still have guys in the NBA that are like, hey, like we need to stand up for women, and it makes me super excited to hear someone like that to like step up and say something because there are times when women are marginalized, especially in a very male dominant thing like sports. So it's not it was a nice fresh air, but also at the same time like I it is what it is. If they want to do that as their career, honestly, I've seen some of those TikTok videos of the like, when these women come back from their night and they're just like these stacks that they're making on a nightly basis is astronomical. I mean, it's insane. They have to do their
And
own
good on
taxes.
them.
Yeah, they have to do their own taxes and stuff, but man, it is wild. Like there's a handful of people who've done those TikToks where they go, "Oh, I've been in Miami for a week and this is how much money I made." And it's like 45 grand and you're like, "Holy shit."
Absolutely.
I'd be tired after that, man.
Absolutely. And yeah, Greco Suave. I wanna highlight this comment because I agree with it 100%. The conversation is much bigger than a strip club. It's about domestic violence within the NBA and so much of what that means in general. And why wasn't that highlighted as well? And I agree. I don't even want Miles Bridges or Kevin Porter Jr. or
Yeah.
anyone that's been convicted of abusing a spouse or domestic violence. I don't want them in the league because I
Yep.
view playing basketball for tens of millions of dollars as a privilege. I don't view it
Yep.
as a right. Like you can go get another job to feed your family or to go do something else. You don't need to be in the most prestigious basketball league in planet Earth if that's how you're conducting yourself off the court. So I agree with you
Yep.
100%. But just because he didn't highlight all of that in a Substack essay doesn't mean he doesn't also feel that way.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm happy with it. I'm cool with whatever. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. We live in America. I'm not here to tell you what to do. That's the president's job. So I'm just gonna chalk this up to maybe San Antonio Spurs should look into like a sugar Saturdays, sugar Sundays, something to that effect. I'm just trying to throw some things out.
Yeah, dude. We talked about it last time. Yeah, Men's Palace Mondays. I'm all for it, man. It would be poppin'. You'd see all the middle school basketball coaches in there. Shout out to Cam. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I know. We kind of went off on a couple of tangents right there, but I'm glad we did. Just before we move on to anything else, was there anything else that you were feeling about the Spurs 76ers game? I know that it went right off the rails very quickly, so
Yeah.
not a ton to
I
get to, but
I'm still a little thrown by my childhood is now nostalgia and a throwback. And I'm so like sitting there going, "Oh, this is from what I remember as a kid." Oh, well, so we're at that point in my life where everything's a throwback and we're looking at the good old days as, a long time ago and this is what it used to be and look how fun we can throw back to. I'm like, all right, well, there we go. There I guess crossed over to that part of my life. So
Oh
it is
yeah.
what it is.
We're old heads, we're unk now. We're all the
I,
above.
which is crazy because like I don't feel that way. I barely know how like the world works at this point.
Y- You're as young as you feel, right, AJ? That's a popular saying I've heard somebody say before.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like I'm always young, and when I was young, I really enjoyed this one thing, is one show, honestly. And since we played the 76ers and the 76ers are in Philadelphia, I feel we can do a blind rank to that effect. What do you think?
Oh, let's do it, my friend. It is time for a blind rank.
So, we're going to blind rank these Always Sunny in Philadelphia cast members.
Okay.
Cause
Okay.
I was like, you know what, Philly's cool. I don't want to do like, blind rank the Eagles or the Sixers, or I was gonna do Rocky movies, but I don't think you've seen all of them. Because I definitely none that have been made in this century.
I've
Um,
seen all the Rocky movies, and unfortunately, I've seen Rocky 5.
okay, well, I could have done that one then,
They
but then
literally end it with a street fight, and they're like, "What the
spoiler.
hell?" I mean, it happened so long ago. I mean, if you haven't seen Rocky 5, then you have no intention of seeing it now.
That's a good point. Well, we're gonna blind rank It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia cast members. And just to let you know, my wife did this one because she was really excited when I came up with this one. So we're going to
Perfect.
do the same one I gave her.
I
And
love
that
it.
is, we're going to start with number one, and that's Dennis.
Dude, the Dennis system.
The Dennis system
D
is probably one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
dude, honestly, none of these characters on this show are anyone any of us would wanna hang out with. They're all
No,
terrible people that would
no.
stab you in the back in a moment's notice. So, like, I'm not ranking them in terms of, like, who I like. I just gotta rank them in terms of, like, the character that they are, and I think Dennis is one of the best characters on the show. So I'm gonna put him at 2 for now.
Dennis at two. I mean, he's the main guy.
Yeah.
Um, Frank.
Okay, see, Frank is a pivotal part of the show because he funds all the craziness. Like none of the shenanigans happen without Frank. So like he not only brings a lot of the comedy with, the weird shit he's into, but just the storylines that his character opens up.
Right.
So like, man, and honestly, just Danny DeVito gives him such credibility as a show.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna put him at 3.
It's like, yes, I was on the sex island, but I was only there for snorkeling. All right,
Oh my god.
let's go Mac.
See, I love Mac, but I think Mac is one of the characters that I would say that I'm more laughing at than I'm
Sure.
laughing with him saying something. So like I'm gonna put Mac at 5.
Mac during the Invincibles episode is probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen on TV because it's so delusional. It's
Oh,
so
dude.
delusional.
Absolutely legendary when they're drinking beers and and they're trying out with Donovan McNabb and and honestly the effort that he goes through with the episodes where he gets fat and
Right.
loses all the weight, it's absolutely incredible, his dedication to that show, not only as an actor but as a creator himself. So like I got to give him so much credit for what he's doing behind the scenes, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, just as a character,
Yeah.
Mac,
What'd you give him again?
I put him at 5.
5. Yeah, gotcha. All right. The Waitress.
Oh man, god damn it. See, now I want the waitress at 5. I didn't even think she'd be an option. I'm gonna put her at 4. I have to just because she has little to no backstory. We don't even know her fucking name.
Just have a name.
God damn it! For heaven's sakes, like Cricket has way more of a backstory than she does.
All right. Number one's gonna be Charlie.
I'm very, very cool with that. Charlie is the glue of the whole show. I feel like everything from just all of his like songs that he'll do and just randomly sing to like just like watching him like huff paint or just he gets into the most crazy like rat bashing shenanigans, and it's interesting to see where his story leads every time. So I'm very cool with him being at 1.
Yeah, man, he's the heart and soul of that show for sure. But do you have a favorite episode?
Oh man, dude, there's so many good episodes. I would say man, I would say it's got to be one of the ones where they make Lethal Weapon, just because like it reminds me of like when I would like to make, like stupid silly fun
Yeah,
remakes
yeah,
of movies I enjoy, and so I think that is like a perfect example of how to like make something while like making something that's like worthless at the same. I don't know. I love those episodes.
yeah. B House.
Yeah, to a certain degree, it does feel very B house ish, but
Well,
those are great.
I think I have two, and it's the one where they go to the gas station and pour themselves a barrel of gas, thinking they can just save it and make a profit by selling. So stupid. And then the
Can we
other one
fill
is
you up?
then then when Dee dates the or meets the serviceman
Oh yeah.
and they ended with kiss from a rose and Frank's like, we got you some jean shorts.
He's like, that's some high quality denim. Fucking hilarious. Yeah, dude. There's so many great ones. I love the one where they have to do community service and they're coaching the basketball teams.
Yes.
That
Great
one's
episode
that one's
too.
that one's brilliant. Yeah, just a laundry list of fantastic episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. How many seasons are there on now? Like 22 or whatever it is?
It's not that many. I want to say it's like 16 or 17. It is the longest live action comedy show in television history. So
Yeah. And I think
any
they signed on for even more too.
oh yeah, I mean it's just hard to
18 seasons. Yeah. Holy
yeah,
shit.
18, yeah, yeah.
Dang.
That's it's so hard to think of fresh episode ideas when you are literally like actors in the show, and it's not
Right.
like, it's not Simpsons or Family Guy or South Park where you can just
Yeah.
draw up a new character, your characters don't age, and it's like it's just really compatible for multiple seasons. But it's Always Sunny is a very unique and special show. As silly and funny as it is, it really has done what so many shows failed to do previously.
I do think it's funny that that Charlie and the waitress are married in real life. It
Oh,
makes
it's a
it just makes it even more funny.
Oh, well, and what's funny is they've acted in other things together previously. Like there's an old episode of Reno 911 where they play like a trailer park, like meth head couple, and they're like making out like naked in the park. And it was like when they were first dating and got together. And so like it's really fun to see, actors with that kind of backstory, and just that they were able to create something so amazing together. That's the dream right there.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like they're having fun and doesn't seem like it's too serious. And it's based around a bar, so even better.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, and when they made their own money, they made they made the patties dollars. They're like, I don't even know how the US economy works, let alone a self-sustaining one. Oh my god.
They're all it's a great show. Funny stuff. It got weird there for a little bit, not gonna lie. It got a little off the rails there, but they found their footing again. So
Yeah, I
anyway, that was
mean,
a fun blind ranking. I like that one.
Absolutely. I appreciate you for bringing It's Always Sunny into the mix. That's one of the all-time GOAT shows right there. Um, but yeah, I mean, I wanna segue into some dunks, but, like, I already gave up my dunk earlier. I was gonna dunk on Mariah Rose for her, really slanted Luke Cornett takes, so it was
Yeah.
I don't really think it was very performative. I think he was giving an honest, genuine take that she just disagreed with. So I think
Yeah.
for her to have a platform of, a couple of million followers and to just kind of say what she was saying, it just kind of, it just, it rang as disingenuous to me. So I'm
Yeah,
going to
do we
dunk
really
on you.
think Luke Cornett's trying to get clicks? Like, do we really think that? Like, you
Right.
think like Luke Cornett's trying to get like a movie deal now? Like, I mean, come on.
He's not trying to be a performative ally. He's just he's a more conservative guy and he had a conservative take and he wasn't, being outlandish with it and, I'm all for it even though I don't really think it's that big of a deal, the Magic
Yeah,
City promotion.
I agree. And fun fact, James actually goes to church with Luke Cornett.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not
Shout
gonna
out
say
to
where. I don't put their shit on blast, but it is Catholic.
yes, very much so.
So, I'm gonna dunk on Bruce Pearl.
Okay.
Bruce Pearl made some comments about Miami, Ohio, basketball team. He basically said they're not relevant. Would you rather have them who, as of tonight, are 30-0? And Bruce Pearl has the audacity to go, they don't belong in the tournament. And it's like, they're 30-0 in their division one. They definitely deserve whether you play whoever. It doesn't matter. And also, side note, the SEC is not that good. I don't give a damn if they got 11 teams right now projected to be in. They don't hold a candle to the Big 12. You can't tell me otherwise. So for Bruce Pearl to come out and say something stupid and idiotic like that, he needs to get dunked on. Because 30-0, man. You're 30-0. And he's like, yeah, I mean, do you want that or do you want like a team like kind of 500 in the SEC? And it's like, I want the fucking 30-0 team, dude.
Right. Yeah, because there's a lot of sneaky good teams that we've seen over the years in the tournament where, they are powerhouses in their smaller conference and, they just really surprise some of these big conference schools with either how usually they're smaller, usually,
Yeah.
they don't have as much size, but usually they play at a quicker pace. Sometimes their three-point shooting is at a different level. And so there's a lot of things that can be, you know, X factors when you're talking about these smaller teams. But yeah, I agree. That is a very, very worthy dunk right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, dude, like, what are we doing here? Like, it just blows my mind that the SEC has absolutely mind warped the entire like college landscape. Honestly, it's so annoying. So I'm hoping that in the future we can kind of move away from that because as good as the SEC is, they ain't all that. Like, I'm sorry, just they're not. So I don't care. And he even said like during that conversation, he was calling Auburn we, and it's like, dude, you're on TNT Sports. You're not supposed to have a we.
Right. Yeah, your we doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. So anyway, also I
Yeah.
just don't like Bruce Pearl as a person too.
Right. Yeah, he doesn't seem like a coach that I would have ever liked to play for.
No.
And I'm somebody that like, I went to Bobby Knight basketball camp. I kind of like asshole coaches and so like it but at the same time, yeah,
It
never really a
it's
Bruce Pearl guy.
yeah, yeah, you can be an asshole, but like but then like you go to dinner with your coach and like he's a normal person. And then he's an asshole whenever you fuck up. And it's like, all right, cool, we're good.
Yeah. That's, you just described a coach right there.
Yeah. Not all
Absolutely.
not all love all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely. But everybody, I appreciate you for being here. If you are here after those dunks, after that fun, It's Always Sunny blind rank, and after that really comprehensive Spurs 76ers post game breakdown, we really appreciate you. We not only love you, but we love you hard over here. All of this is brought to you by Love You Hard TV and the wonderful people over at the In the Building podcast. Shout out to Mike, Rudy, Jose, everyone over there. Make sure you're following in the building and listening. They go live all the time. Great stuff over there. Well, we got a lot of great stuff going on over here at the Baseline Bums podcast as well. We're going live on YouTube every single post game episode. We're going to be covering it. But we're also putting out clips on TikTok, Instagram. We got a lot of fun stuff going on Apple Podcast. The Twitter's popping off. Wherever you are following socials, we are making it happen, and we want you to be a part of the community over there. It's fun getting on here talking Spurs basketball, especially after a 40-point win. But you guys make this community special, and you guys truly make this podcast what it is. But yeah, I think we're gonna hop off here and end this episode the same way we end all episodes, and that's with a go
Go
Spurs,
Spurs.
go.
Go. Bring back the Silver Dancers.
We beat the 76ers by